Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mechanical Warriors. In this episode, I want you to pay close attention because we're going to be giving away $300 cash thanks to Hunter Automotive here in Cairns. Now, if you want to know more about that, stay tuned and you'll find out more details as we get further into the video. What I want to talk about in this video is my truck. Now, anyone who's been following the channel will know that when I was doing some work on the Audi, someone came in here, took the keys and stole my truck. Now, they managed to get all the way down to Airlie Beach before the cops caught them, which was only about 2 weeks after the car was initially stolen. And it's been 4 months. It's taken 4 months for the insurance company to basically finish the deal and get this car back to me. Insurance company is called Huddle Insurance. I would highly not recommend these insurance company guys, steer clear. Although it did turn out to be a positive outcome for me. I did get the truck back plus a payout. It has been added to the repairable write-off list, so we're going to have to do a WOVI inspection as well as repair some of the damage that has been done to the truck. I'm going to take you for a quick walk around the truck and show you the damage that has been done. It's actually very minor, really. Like, I can't believe they wrote this car off. I'm pretty shocked, to be honest, but in the end, it did work out in my favor. So I'm not unhappy that the car has been added to the repairable write-off list. It's not a big deal to fix, and who should be fixing this truck anyway, if not me, especially after what we do here at Mechanical Warriors, right? So the main damage, the main panel damage is on this side, which is like not much. You know, there's a dent here and 2 dents on these doors, which most of that will just pop out. I am going to take these doors to another company to get them painted up. I just don't have the time here at the moment to do it myself. On the back, there's a little bit more damage. You can see they've scratched the R off here to make it say anger, which, you know, I mean, come on guys, how much brain power did it take to manage that? Not a lot, I suspect. But apart from that, we've got a reverse sensor that was damaged. The side steps I've removed because they were all bent up, and I've actually had the truck up. It was absolutely covered in mud from top to bottom. So we gave the underneath a really good scrub and a really good clean to get all that mud off. And it came up really good. Underneath, there was not much wrong with it at all. There was no ball joints done. Everything was fairly solid. So I have to say, the old Ranger has lived up to its name, because I can guarantee you now, them little brats would have given this thing a flogging. But it hasn't damaged anything. The engine runs. On the interior, it's not too bad either. It's obviously very dirty, and we need to go through a thorough clean to bring all this back up to scratch. On the inside, you can see there's the fuse box cover is missing, and a bit of the stitching was damaged from the deep clean that they did on the car. But apart from that, there's not really a lot of damage done on the inside. So while we are working on this car, why not add some aftermarket gear to it, give it a lift, give it a makeover. We're going to upgrade the stereo in it. The stereo is actually going to be pretty interesting. The stereo that we have purchased is actually like a Tesla style stereo for these trucks. It retains a lot of the original stuff like the reverse camera, the microphone, your pressure sensors, all that, or tire pressure sensors, all that sort of stuff, all goes through the head unit, which I thought was pretty cool. And obviously it has Apple CarPlay and all that sort of stuff. And the 2016 models didn't have that, which was the PX2, the PX3 did. And that was one thing that was a bit of a bummer about this truck. So we're going to change that. We've got new side steps coming. We're going to put some new wheels, maybe some new mags, we'll see. A lift kit, and just basically bring this back up to top notch again. Now, in this episode, we're just going to get through what we can. We've only got 2 weeks to get whatever parts we got here, install it, and then obviously in the following episode we'll finish the rest of the install and finish up this truck and show you how it all went, and especially show you this stereo because I'm pretty interested. I reckon anyone who sees it will be very interested in one of these stereos for their trucks. So stay tuned for that. So what we're going to do now is start installing what we already have, which we do have the side steps and a few other bits and pieces that have arrived already. So let's get stuck into that. After we finish putting all these bits and pieces on this car, we're going to get into this money, how all that's going to work, the $300 cash giveaway. So stay tuned for that and let's do it. Let's go. Boom.
Let me show you what I got.
One thing I noticed that really annoyed me was the powder that the police used to fingerprint the car. It absolutely kills the paint. It took a hard cut and polish to get the marks it left out. I think if this ever happens again, I won't allow them to fingerprint the car, as nothing ended up happening as a result of it, and it just made more work for me in the end. And as I said before, it's even more damaging on the inside of the car.
Let me show you what I got.
Okay guys, so we've got this custom head unit from Yola that we're going to install into the truck. I've never seen anything like it. It absolutely replaces everything in the center of the dash and puts a giant screen in the center, as well as replaces a lot of the dash parts. So I just want to, I couldn't really find anything regarding this head unit online. It's fairly new. So if you want to check out another video of a full review on it, please check out our channel and you'll see we're going to do an individual review on this. But for the sake of this install on the truck, keep watching. So let's unbox it here. It actually looks really well packed. Looks like that's the unit there. We've got a piece of the dash of some sort here. And then we've got another piece of the dash there, which looks to be the wrong color, but never mind. And we've got all sorts of cabling. Wow, look at all this cabling. That is for something else. So let's just quickly go through all this and see what we got. The box over there. So I was pretty happy with the way this was packed actually. Nothing's damaged. So with this head unit, it actually retains a lot of the factory components within the truck. So with the Rangers, their stereo is kind of incorporated into the truck itself, which makes it hard to upgrade your stereo in them because you lose sections in the dash. On the dash, there's two little computer screens that work with the stereo. This stereo apparently retains all that. And give you an idea of how big this thing is. Look at that. It's huge. So, as you can see, it takes up a lot of the dash there, and that's why they've obviously given you these new pieces, which must let's just have a look at them. See what the quality's like here. They look pretty good. Like the finish is really nice, and the plastic feels like solid plastic. Like it doesn't feel like cheap plastic. It is the wrong color, which kind of sucks, but who knows? We could cover it with something else at a later stage. Man, they've wrapped this well. I'll just get a knife. Cut that bit of tape there. So look at that, it's actually quite well made. And again, like I said, it's very, very sturdy. So I'm guessing that
goes there like that, and that piece goes there. And that all clips in. Obviously there is a lot of wiring. With this head unit, one thing I have noticed, which in my view it doesn't really matter, is the CD player. The CD player is actually in there still when you install this unit, but you can't use it because it's literally sitting behind this massive big screen. But in these days, like, everyone's got their phone connected and they're using SoundCloud, they're using, you know, some sort of app to listen to their music. So CDs are really a thing of the past, aren't they? But I think the CD player has some of the amplifier components in the stereo in order to power up the speakers. So that's why they need it in there. Anyway, we are going to install this unit, remove the old head unit, and do a full review on all its features and functions and see how it all works, and let you know whether it's worth the money to put it in, because these units are actually quite expensive. But if it turns out to be a good unit, I think it's worthwhile. Like, I really like having a big screen, especially for maps. It's got Apple CarPlay and Android Play and all of that sort of stuff. So it's a big upgrade from what's already in the truck. Even with the newer trucks with their, I think it's called Sync 2 or Sync 3, it does have Apple CarPlay, but it's only a tiny little screen that they have on the dash. So upgrading to a nice big screen, I think it'll look good. So anyone with a Ford Ranger, stay tuned and keep watching this video.
I lick my lips and shake my hips. I see you.
So the first step is getting all the dash unclipped and off the car. The kit comes with the perfect tool to lever the dash panels off. You don't need to use a lot of force to pop these parts off. I actually really enjoyed pulling the old head unit out. I know the wiring looks like a nightmare, but honestly it just looks that way. Once you have located the plugs you're going to use, just ignore the rest. Each plug is unique, so it's pretty hard to mess this part up. If your truck has climate control, you're going to need to remove the PCB board from the old unit and install it onto the new unit. Again, not as hard as it sounds, but take your time and remember not to touch the PCB unless you're grounded, otherwise handle it from its edges. Installing the unit once all the fiddly bits was done was very satisfying. The plastic and finish of all the edges of the product, I was super impressed, a perfect factory finish. It all clipped in well, nothing feels rattly or out of place. Well done YOLO, 100 points for fitment and quality.
Okay guys, so the install is finished, and actually it wasn't as bad as I thought. If you just go through this document here slowly, which it kind of shows you at the beginning here which unit you've got, either a Sync 1 or a Sync 2. They're the main sort of things you need to worry about. And then it refers you to page C, page D, page whatever. And then you've got A, B, C. And once I actually understood this, that actually helped quite a lot, because I was quite confused with the wiring. Because what they've done here is they're catering for every model and every variation. So there's a cable in there for everything. The confusing part about it is 80% of them just go nowhere, they're not used. So once you understand that, that makes it a whole lot simpler, because you're basically just plugging the plugs that plug in. There's 1 or 2 power plugs that you need to be careful not to plug into the wrong place, but pretty safe with the whole setup. You can't really plug anything in where it shouldn't go. So I found the setup, the whole install, relatively simple and easy to finish. So now what I want to do is walk you through how it looks and the features and functions that it has. So come jump in the car and let's check it out. Guys, so we're in the car. Let's fire up the car. See the unit, there it is. Now that is just connecting to the Apple CarPlay. Takes a second to connect. And that should disappear. There we go. So there's the CarPlay. I think that's pretty cool. If I open my door, you see it shows the door that's open, which is also pretty cool. Down the bottom here, you've got air conditioner, fan, and all sorts of controls for the aircon. These knobs basically operate the temperature control, which I kind of think that they should change that. I don't like you know, you're very, very rarely changing temperature. Well, I am anyway. I would much rather have a knob for volume rather than for temperature change. Anyway, that is what it is. The original car did have a volume knob, so I hope that they can do an iteration for the software and maybe give us an option to be able to use them for different functions. Anyway, apart from that, if you go to the home screen, you have basically this view which shows your RPMs and your speed, and also the radar and tire pressure of the car, which to me I think is just a complete waste of real estate, because I have all this information up on my dash. I don't need to advertise this to my people in the car, and you know, it's kind of just a waste of the screen. I would much rather have the map completely going across one side and then something else of use in this part of the screen. You can split the screen here, and this shows like an app that was open before, but I find this really buggy to use. It doesn't quite work, so I don't really like that function. However, if you're using CarPlay, which I am, you just go to that T-Link 5 app and it opens up CarPlay, which has basically everything on there anyway. So you've got maps, you've got your music, and obviously you've got your phone. So that's fine. I'm happy with the way that works. I don't like the buttons on the side here. So all these buttons do stuff, and I'm pretty sure that we're able to change what functions these buttons have. I haven't yet quite got into that aspect of it, but the little screen that's up on the dash here, which normally shows you can have entertainment, a phone, or navigation information displaying there. The navigation's still showing some stuff, but the phone doesn't work as far as I can tell. That just says no phone connected. And same with the entertainment. Oh, well, that is actually showing a radio value, so maybe that does work. I'm not 100% sure. But when I do go up and down on these buttons here, there is some weird stuff that happens, which, yeah, there we go. If I push that, it brings up this speech setting, which obviously is for voice control, but I can't seem to get it to actually ask for a voice command. So having said that, the support for this unit is really awesome. They're using WhatsApp. You just add their number and you can chat to them straight away. I fixed a bunch of problems just talking with them on WhatsApp. There is a couple of things, like when I put it into reverse, it has a second gauge here, which there's already one there, and this actually used to move when I turn the steering wheel, and it doesn't do that anymore, which that's actually quite handy, having them lines visible, just for when you're reversing, you can see where your back wheel is going to roll. I used to use that function quite a lot, so if we can get that working again, that would be awesome. I don't know if it's a feature or something that I have done wrong, but yeah, there is that issue. Apart from that, I really like the setup. I love the big screen. The finish of it is beautiful. I think these buttons here are a waste of space. They've got all of these buttons here, which I don't mind having a fan speed either as a knob or buttons, but the touch screen is actually quite useful as well. It works quite well, so I don't see the point in displaying stuff twice, especially directly below each other. It just kind of defeats the purpose. I think you'd be better off making this further flat in, get rid of these buttons and make this further in to give you a little bit more room here with your hand, because you don't actually touch when you've got your hand on the gear stick, but I don't know how this would be with a manual gearbox. It could go closer, I don't know. But with the auto, it's not too bad. Doesn't touch with my fingers or anything, but it is quite close. Apart from that, I really like the unit. I think they've got a few little bits and pieces that they need to fix, which most of it, I believe, can be done through software updates. This does have you can put a SIM card in it, so it has its own mobile connection, which I think also is awesome, because there could be further development for an app to track the car. So it could be a type of alarm system as well as a head unit, which I hope they do incorporate something like that, because that'd be very, very handy to have. Because this, as you guys know, this car was actually stolen. So being able to track the car is something awesome, and this has all the technology in it to be able to track it. So they just need to, I think, develop a little bit more software, and then please, for the guys that have bought the first versions of it, give us a software update with a few more better functions and features. So there you have it, guys. There is the YOLO, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, install done. I managed to complete this install in roughly about 4 hours. It wasn't that difficult. The wiring does look a little bit tedious and a little bit scary when you're first grabbing it all, but honestly, if you just go bit by bit, it's not as bad as you think. A lot of the plugs are not actually used, and yeah, it wasn't that hard. So there you have it. Install's done. Let's move on to the next part. Okay guys, so we've got some more parts to whack onto the truck. I've got some new side steps here, which we're going to put in. Now I'm going to try and get all of this stuff installed today, because at the end of today we've got to finish this video and get it out for our fortnightly release. So if we don't get this finished, we'll just release what we've done and we'll include the rest in the following video. These two gauges here, I think, is where it's going to be a little bit time consuming, because this is an EGT and boost pressure gauge, and this one is a oil pressure and temperature sender gauge. So quite a bit of wiring to get them up and functioning, but we're going to give it our best shot. So we'll see how we go. Let's start with these side steps. We'll get them put on, and then we'll move on to the electrical side with these gauges.
These steps were super simple to install. I'm not 100% happy with them, as they seem a little short, but this is the second set of steps we've put on this car. The first one was just total rubbish. They arrived damaged. It was just all cheap plastic crap. We got a refund and sent them back. At least these are nice solid metal and should provide us some good protection when four-wheel driving. Definitely better than the stock side steps the truck come with.
Okay guys, so we have finished what we're gonna do for this week on the truck. Got them side steps on, we've run out of time. Not gonna put that pillar gauges in. Well, we are gonna put it in, but just not in this episode. So the next episode on the truck, we'll be finishing all the stuff that we're gonna do to that and get it on the road. We've just had a delivery from Golby's Parts with all of the bits and pieces to do the engine build on the Supra. This is not everything, but it's basically most of the stuff that we could fit on the bench to show you guys. We've got everything new. This car is getting a full-on makeover. Every possible conceivable thing that we could think of to put in this car is going into it. So we've got two NOS bottles. This is a Garrett G42 1470, I think. I might be wrong on that, but somewhere around that horsepower. We're aiming for 1200 horsepower at the wheels, so that turbo should get us there.
We're still waiting on the intake manifold and the throttle body and a few other little bits and pieces, but we have enough here now to get stuck into the engine build. So the next video we're going to be working on is the 2JZ build. So stay tuned to the channel. As always, guys, if you like what you see here, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything to do so. Also, check out our app, Mechanical Warriors. There's some content on there that's exclusive for our members only. There's also giveaways like the Toyota Supra that we're doing. You can buy tickets for that on that app, so go and check that out, please. Anyone who is a member of Cairns area and knows the Cairns Power Club cruise, stay tuned, because we're going there tonight and we're giving away this $300 cash. We've got an event happening there. So if you go to the Cairns Power Club cruise, tonight is a night you don't want to miss. Head to the Cairns Power Club cruise and we're going to announce how the game that we're going to play is going to be rolled out, or how the rules are going to go. And yeah, we'll see you at the Cairns Power Club cruise. So thanks everybody for watching. Our next video is more than likely going to be on the 2JZ build, so stay tuned for that. We've got lots of parts here now. We've been waiting for almost 2 months for this stuff to get here. We've ordered everything that we can think of to order so that we're not waiting for stuff all the time, which is a real pain in the butt. So we've got everything here now. We've got plenty to do, so we can create content for you guys to watch and bring this car up to its, what we consider a Mechanical Warriors worthy emblem. It will have a badge that we will be putting on the front and back, a Mechanical Warriors badge, and we will be giving that car away. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for the next one.